everybody, Waffle S'mores 99 here, and today, well, before I get started, please don't mind, humming from my mini fridge. Keeps my stuff healthy, cold, and good. So yeah. Anyways, today I'm gonna be redoing another video with a better energy. It's gonna be about my own personal success story. I am most likely already bringing it up over and over again as an example, as a pretty powerful example to show that anything is possible and how it was simple manifestation really is. Don't mind if I keep fixing my hair. I like messing with my hair. That's just how I am. If you don't like it, may God's peace fill your soul and find someone else. But anyways, so what we're going to be talking about is how I manifested my hysterectomy and bi-salp. Alright, so get cozy, because it might be a little long. I don't know. I'm quite concise nowadays, so yeah, let's get to the point. So it all started off with we're gonna go way back when I was 17. 17 was when I decided that I want to be child free. Never looked back ever since. 18, I've always wanted to have a hysterectomy, but it was just one of those things like a nice to have back then. I didn't really look further into it. I thought it was just like something that was like super hard to get or whatever, like a lot more obscure. You get what I mean? And I didn't know too much about the law at that time anyway, so cut me some slack out there. But it isn't until 2024 election results. Yeah, you already know. Before those election results were official, I told myself, if those election results come out unfavorable, if you get what I mean, then I'm gonna have to actually start manifesting getting the bi-salp, which is a fallopian tube removal, permanent birth control, basically. So yeah, and there you go. History's made right there. Woo! Well, bad and good history. Good history because me. But anyways, so then I started affirming right in front of this vision board. You're not going to be looking at it because tell no man. But I will literally be sitting my ass down with a trusty wooden, at the time, black wooden chair. And just looking at this particular picture. I'm literally looking at it right now. Of Time magazine saying the child free life. I was looking at it. And then I would recite for 10 minutes. Like, I don't know, 2-3 times a day. Sometimes I get too busy to where I could only do once a day, but that was just like sporadic. I was mainly just doing it 2-3 times a day because I really needed it that bad. I was literally afraid that Trump was gonna take my rights away. Okay, and the affirmation I was using was, I got my bi-salp right now, I got my bi-salp right now, I got my bi-salp right now, I got my bi-salp right now. Bi-salp, if you don't know, is like a short way of saying bilateral salpingectomy, which is again fallopian tube removal surgery. So yeah, and a lot of child-free people like me, we just call it bi-salp. So yeah, it's like one of those dream surgeries for all the women and AFABs out there to get if they're child-free or they're done having kids. So there's that. So I would say that affirmation over and over again during those affirmation sessions and also outside of those affirmation sessions. And yeah, it was a little hard at first because this was like my first actual super big manifestation desire that I was gonna manifest, and I didn't know whether it was just gonna work or not, but I was still affirming anyways because I really wanted the surgery. Let's just see how it goes. It's one of those things. So yeah, I kept persisting on that. And then I came across, Obamacare, the healthcare.gov stuff. Whenever I saw, so the first time I came across it, I think the initial deadline was already approaching or something like that. So I was like, all right, whatever. I guess I'm not gonna be signing it up because by the time I sign up, deadline is already gonna be closed. But then at around near Thanksgiving time, I saw that they extended the deadline. So I was like, okay, I guess that was a sign for me to go and check it out. I checked it out, long story short. So when my social security number, sometimes it gets a little dodgy. Like either my identity is approved or not. Alright. So the first time I was getting, my identity checked and all that, it says that I just basically got rejected because they couldn't really apparently verify my identity. I was like, oh my gosh, oh no. In a world kind of thing. But I still kept affirming and still kept doing the affirmation sessions while looking at this particular picture of my vision board, sitting my ass down and doing that, while also robotically affirming too, as much as I could about getting the surgery. And also around that time, I told my mom that I think I want to, get the surgery where I won't be able to have kids. And she, long story short, she did not approve of that. It made me cry. Alright, she was like, no, I don't accept that. I don't believe in that. I was like, okay. And I cried, but I still kept affirming anyways. And then a couple of days later, after I was, trying out again on verifying, signing up for the healthcare.gov stuff, I got an email from them saying, take action now because we have officially verified your identity, so go get your insurance. I was like, oh, okay. So, again, long story short, I got signed up into a pretty good insurance. No deductible. Pretty cheap co-pays. Very generous max out-of-pocket payment. So, yeah. And then, after officially signing in on that and getting, my card and all that good stuff, the insurance card, I then was checking out the child-free subreddit's doctors list. I was calling around to see if any of these child-free doctors would take my insurance. Most of them didn't. I was starting to get a little, scared about whether I'll be able to actually get this surgery or not. But then I called this one doctor off the list, and her office was in network. And so I got an appointment scheduled for January. And there's that. At this time, it was already December, something like that. So yeah, the next month would be my woman's exam, along with me, spelling it out, the truth of why I'm here. I kept affirming, even though I got that appointment scheduled, because I was still having some doubts coming from the news about, reproductive rights and the new presidency, and also with my parents' situation and all that. But then my mom was slowly starting to accept it, that particularly being a possibility or something like that. And then come that woman's exam, and then I got the typical exam stuff down. While I was waiting for the appointment date to come around, I also list down pages and pages and pages of my menstrual issues. Long story short, I got suspected of endometriosis. Because this doctor, she also had endometriosis and is a specialist in that too. So she already knew right then and there that I could have endometriosis. And I told her as well that I have no desire to have kids. I would like to, get my fallopian tubes removed. And she was like, okay, I support that. Just give me your final word the next time you see me, which will be after a follow-up from getting an ultrasound done at the same day that I'm getting that follow-up, which is wonderful. And we'll get that surgery scheduled for you. I still kept affirming, because did I have that surgery done yet? Even though I got confirmation and all that good stuff that I'll be getting that surgery from, the child-free friendly doctor. No. So I got to keep affirming, keep doing those affirmation sessions. I kept doing those affirmation sessions, and the affirming for that same, that same one affirmation of I got my bicep right now, I got my bicep right now, I got my bicep right now. And then the ultrasound and all that good stuff, you know, that next appointment was coming around. So the first time that I was supposed to get it done, it was raining. So traffic and all that, we would not be able to make it in time. And I was a little sad because I wanted to get this done, you know, right now before Trump tries to take it away from me, you know. That's what I thought. And so yeah, long story short, I got it rescheduled for both the ultrasound and the follow-up on the same days, back to back, which was wonderful because usually you have to, you know, get this separate dates for that, but no, not for me, not my reality. And all I just did was I just kept affirming that same affirmation. Come that date, oh my gosh, that ultrasound, it was so painful. I got so tired from the pain after getting that done. That poor technician, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you poor thing. I was like, yeah, I know. But yeah, it was really fucking painful. After that painful moment with the ultrasound, I saw my doctor and she saw, you know, really nothing. But endometriosis is like very weird like that. Like, the only way for you to get it officially diagnosed and taken off is, one, you have an actual endometriosis specialist to be able to be doing that, which I already have. And two, is through exploration surgery, laparoscopic surgery. So yeah, she said it looks perfect, but I know that the only way that we can like confirm that you have endometriosis is when we open you up. And because, you know, I want to get my fallopian tubes out, I'm already going to be killing two birds with one stone right there. Because the fallopian tube removal is a laparoscopic surgery anyways. So yeah, I gave her my word that I still want that surgery. And then, you know, I have my mom come around and talk about this together, about how it's going to go and all that. My mom had like a few questions and all that, which is, you know, all right. You know, she's trying to understand. And yeah, I got my date scheduled for end of March. So this next appointment, you know, with that ultrasound and the, what is it? Oh yeah, that follow-up. They both happened in late February. I started affirming for this desire around November, okay? Basically, you know, after the election results. And then I got my insurance done in December. You know, things were basically moving month by month, okay? Because I did not stop affirming and doing those affirmation sessions. And then when the surgery date got closer, my mom was starting to soften up and actually was like getting much more supportive with my decision to get the surgery done. And I guess it's because, you know, I have endometriosis and all that. She's starting to understand, like, that's the only way to get the endometriosis out and all that. I basically just need the surgery and all that. She was literally so supportive to where whenever my surgery day was coming up, like, was getting near, she was like, a few more days until you get the snip. Yeah, I know. She literally went from, I don't approve, around November, December, to time for you to get the snip soon. All because I just kept affirming that I got my bi-salp right now. The same affirmation. And not only that, she even was like, why don't I take you to Walmart or go on Amazon and get you some surgery nightgowns? And I got my post-op recovery stuff too. Like, yeah, basically my parents like paid all of that good stuff. Even my insurance too. And again, this is coming from you know, around December, where my mom was like, I don't approve of you getting the surgery. I don't believe in that. To now, literally, this was my seatbelt buddy. She bought me this. She bought me this bad boy, my seatbelt buddy. When we went to Target, I was like, I want to have him as my seatbelt buddy. And she's like, okay, go get him. He was like $10. So, yeah. And I did take him with me to my surgery date. And then come surgery date, I got that surgery done. And not only that, my mom, she literally surprised me after getting the surgery done. Or actually before getting it going under with Dumbo. Yeah, she literally went to the gift shop from the hospital gift shop and bought me this. She literally surprised me with him. Again, this is coming from the same woman where literally at December she was like, you're not getting that surgery. To literally surprising me with freaking Dumbo. And she was there too, just like most of the time, like during pre-op for going under, just sitting there enjoying her time with me. Like literally people have to change based off of what you have been affirming, even though you're not directly telling them what you want them to be doing. I did not affirm aside from, my main affirmation of getting the bi-salp that my mom approved and all that. No, I just kept affirming the same affirmation, and then she flipped the switch. She even helped me out with my post-op recovery too. What a badass mom, I know, right? But during the post-op recovery, because I was literally like, wow, I literally got my surgery done. And I, of course, got endometriosis removed, stage 1, even though it felt like it was fucking stage 5 to me. Endometriosis is weird like that. But anyways, I got pretty confident. I was really like, oh, wow, I seriously manifested this. This is so cool. Like, I seriously manifested this. And then that's when I decided to start affirming for the hysterectomy. I was like, why not I go big once more and get the surgery that I had always wanted since I was 18. My ultimate dream surgery. So then I started affirming. And then while I was affirming, I was mainly just affirming throughout the day because I think at that time I was just a little still too drowsy and all in the post-op scheme mood to be doing the affirmation sessions, because I think that might be putting me back to bed. All right. So I then started affirming that I got the hysterectomy scheduled. And then while I was affirming throughout the day with that same affirmation, I sent a message to my doctor about being interested in getting a hysterectomy. Long story short, she said, yeah, okay, we'll discuss it in the next follow-up. Come my 2-week post-op appointment with her nurse practitioner, and I healed up pretty smoothly. And I told nurse practitioner too that, hey, I'm interested in getting hysterectomy, and nurse practitioner was like, okay, cool, just let your doctor know and we'll see from there. So yeah, come the actual follow-up appointment with my doctor, and I told her that I'm still interested in it while developing, some game plan and all that. Here is when I start to trial my second birth control. So while I was waiting for my surgery, my bi-salp, I was given Camry to try to suppress enough of the endometriosis. Long story short, it did not help. What actually helped was almost fucking up my mental health. Yeah, I was starting to experience severe mental health symptoms of me getting thoughts of wanting to end myself and starting to get the same anxiety levels that I used to get when I was in middle school, when I was 13 specifically. And I never had that bad anxiety because I also manifested away that kind of anxiety too. But yeah, it was starting to try to come up with that birth control pill. So then I stopped taking that birth control pill, Camrys. It also did not suppress any pain whatsoever, pelvic pain and all that. I was experiencing pelvic, vaginal pain and all that, and yeah, it did not help. Alright, I'm back. I went out and did some little fun with the family. But anyways, I was still in pain and all that craziness with the Camry, even though it was supposed to suppress the pain from the endometriosis. And because of the symptoms that I was experiencing mentally, along with, you know, just basically the pill not helping while waiting for my surgery. I had like a I guess like a very urgent kind of follow-up appointment about that with my doctor's nurse practitioner. She told me, we're gonna have you stay away from that because that's too severe, that is not normal. And then here I go with the surgery. But yeah, whenever I was experiencing all that mental severe side effects with Camrys, I was still affirming. I was still telling myself, I got the bi-salp right now, I got the bi-salp right now, I got the bi-salp right now. Even though all these mental stuff and all that craziness was starting to happen in my brain while taking this pill. See, it really shows that really nothing stops you from getting what you want but yourself. I was having all these like emotional stuff. I was even like crying out of nowhere over something so like over nothing while in this pill, but I was still affirming and I still got my surgery. So yeah, take that as you will. You don't worry about any of the emotions and all that. Just keep affirming, and whatever you're affirming, it's gonna come past. It's gonna have to come to pass because it is the most dominant compared to your emotional reactions or whatever, you know, those kind of reactions. So I'm telling you guys about, you know, my experience with my first birth control pill, because I got trialed with the second one for insurance purposes to show that I tried at least 2 birth control pills, and because of them both of them possibly failing and not being able to get an IUD, long story short, that's literally what happened. This was like, the surgery would be my last resort. There wasn't really anything super restrictive from what I've seen too, because I know some insurance companies, like, you have to be doing like all the 9s, like even get a hysteroscopy and all that craziness too. But some of them, like mine, they were quite lenient actually. But anyways, so I trialed Yaz. Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh. I've heard a lot of like positive stuff about Yaz, but me, bro, with Yaz, I was literally starting to act like freaking Nikki from The Obsession, my guy. If you know, I mean, I'm gonna spoil the movie, but there is a scene where Nikki, she has like this crazy smile before Bear goes to work and all that, just stands there and urinates herself while like smiling about all that, you know, craziness. Yeah, minus the urination part, I was literally smiling like that for a straight 5 to 10 minutes while on that pill, like on my last day of taking that pill. Not only that, I was experiencing more severe mental side effects with it. It was scary, honestly. I honestly wanted to fight people in my mind. Like when I see Joe out here at my usual grocery store getting my stuff, trying to get bread, looking at Joe, be like, I want to fucking fight you, bro. I want to fight you so bad. Literally, that was literally in my mind. And even like small little inconveniences, like, I don't know, the cart not going the right direction, slow, like swaying a little bit, I was like manhandling it like it was about to crash the fucking wall or something. I don't know. I was like mad about it. I was so pissed off about it. I was getting a little violent over stuff like that. I'll never forget, bro. Literally, I think whenever I was coming to my room, I smashed my entire freaking, let's say this is the phone. I smashed the entire freaking phone face down like this. With my drawer over here, it has like some little metal thingies on there. Like, it was like BAM! Thankfully, it didn't break because, I mean, I always get solid screen protectors and all that, but because I guess some delay, like the song wasn't able to play in like 1 second. It was like 1 second late or something like that. I have never done that. I even threw my freaking phone on the floor too, like that, like violently, because of something that inconvenient while I was on the pill. And also, whenever I was walking, I saw a dude, I think, walking like opposite direction. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to fight this motherfucker. God, I hate this fucker. I need to fight this dude. Literally. And that, it was scary, bro. And not only that, I was starting to experience again gender dysphoria that I haven't experienced since I was like, I don't know, I would say the latest would be around middle school, because I was overweight. So I used to experience gender dysphoria around my chest because it was like bigger than I was just overweight, basically. Like I just didn't like how my chest was like bigger, a little bigger, because of the extra fat. And whenever I was manifesting my hysterectomy and during, you know, taking gas, I would get gender dysphoria over the fact that I was still having a painful uterus. If you don't know, I'm agender. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. So yeah, I remember my first few times experiencing gender dysphoria was when I was 11 because of my breasts. So yeah, but I'm good now. Now that I lost weight, I'm good. I don't have any of those feelings at all. That only happens when I gain weight. Heaven forbid. That ain't gonna fucking happen, my guy. Because I hate experiencing gender dysphoria. It's not fun. But anyways. But yeah, I was starting to experience gender dysphoria about my breasts. And about the fact that I still have a painful uterus. And the gender dysphoria was already like dying down at this time because I was also manifesting losing weight. Not really. Yeah, I was actually starting to manifest losing weight and all that, but not like too serious or something. I don't know. It was at the beginning stages of whenever I was starting to decide on manifesting losing weight. But I did lose a good amount of weight to where I just stopped experiencing gender dysphoria over a fatty chest, basically. But yeah, that gender dysphoria was just coming around because of that fucking pill, and I knew that wasn't me. And then, of course, the thoughts of wanting to end myself and how people want to see me suffer and all that. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. And that was so scary to experience. But I still affirmed anyways. Even though I was crying out of nowhere too, pissed off over fucking Joe getting bread while I was getting, I don't know, frozen vegetables, or one of my siblings' frozen fries, or I don't know, at that time. Like, I was still affirming that I got my hysterectomy scheduled. And not only that, I was actually experiencing worse period pains at this point. Bro, it felt like someone called a bounty hunter to come over here in my room for 2 days every single month and pow at my freaking vaginal area. It was really painful. I almost wanted to throw up twice because of the pain. It was that bad. And it was so bad too, to where I just could not get myself to get up out of this bed and go to the bathroom to get the Tylenol out of the medicine cabinet. It was a mess, bro. And because I couldn't have Tylenol, it was a lot more painful. I mean, it was still painful with the Tylenol, but not as painful as if I didn't take it, which doesn't really make any sense. That's how painful it was, while also having a heating pad on me. So yeah, and because of all that craziness too, I would have missing assignments, late assignments. I was at this point just existing. I was existing. So yeah, I did not care about anything but just trying to get by literally every single day. Even my mom was like telling me, like, don't worry about anything, just literally your job right now is to worry about what you need to be doing to get through the day, to get through every day. And yeah, it was like so bad. I was like almost bed bound, my guy. I could not run because every time I would run, I used to run. I loved running at this time. I used to run, not anymore because I ain't about that anymore. But I like walking more. But yeah, when I used to run and while I was waiting for the hysterectomy and all, when I stopped to get like a small water break, I was already experiencing like freaking pelvic pain. over freaking running. And because of that, I just could not run anymore. I mean, I could run now, no problem, but I don't feel like running anymore. It's not. I find walking a lot more fun, especially now it's freaking hot out there. Nah, bruh, you got me tripping. So, yeah, it was just a cycle of pain, fatigue, pain, fatigue, pain, fatigue during the menstrual cycles, and then after it, outside of the menstrual cycles, it's anxiety, because I was scared of Aunt Flo coming and beating my ass. Yeah, I was like really just in survivor mode. I was just so scared, honestly. It was so tense, honestly. It was, yeah. Even though I was facing all of that craziness in a 3D, and physically, emotionally, and even like mentally too, especially with the pills, I was still affirming. I still kept affirming for the hysterectomy, that I got the hysterectomy scheduled. So, yeah, I literally did not try to have it back down. There were even some times too where I was like, maybe I don't need the surgery after all. But I was like, nah, just kidding. I got the hysterectomy scheduled. I was redirecting myself as much as possible because that was how bad I wanted it. Like, I wanted it like yesterday. So I just kept affirming. And there were plenty of times at this point too where I just could not really, understandably so, just do affirmation sessions. So the most that I could do at this point was just robotic affirmations, just affirming throughout the day, flipping my thoughts to that one affirmation as much as possible. So yeah. And then, long story short, after scheduling another follow-up appointment about that birth control pill, I think with the nurse practitioner or with my actual doctor. I think it was with my actual doctor because I wanted her to actually like see all the evidence and all that, not just a practitioner. Even though the practitioner works for her, but I feel like I just want the doctor to just have all the evidence in its entirety because I actually documented it all down. I've had chicken scratch letter of me while on the Yaz pill saying that everybody wants to see me suffer and that I want to die and all that. Yeah, it was bad, bro. And yeah, because of that, my doctor, she was scared. She was like, okay, I'm glad that you took yourself out of that pill. This is scary. I don't want to put you on anything else. I even told her too that I had a culture swab before, and that was when that moment was when I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do an IUD because even a culture swab freaking hurt. Any kind of pelvic exam at this point was painful for me. So I was like, nope. And of course my doctor, praise God, honestly, she was like totally understandable. She understood, and she was like, all right, let's just get you scheduled, bro. Let's just get you scheduled, bro. You clearly want the surgery, so yeah. I mean, she didn't say it like that, like word per word, but that was, that was just her overall response. You get what I mean? In my language, all right? So I got the hysterectomy scheduled. Woo! Yes, finally, at last. And then, but then at this point, I was starting to get a little comfortable. Don't do that, my guys. You need to be diligent no matter what until you get your full desire. This is why. I dropped down on being more diligent like I would with affirming for the hysterectomy. And not only that, I was starting to manifest my weight loss at this point too. So my weight loss was starting to be more prioritized than the surgery because I thought, okay, well, since, I'm already getting some evidence that's already scheduled, so everything should be fine and dandy, right? Since I'm just gonna, put my guard down and just not really affirm so much for it. Do like a here and there affirmation session, not as much. I'll just focus mainly on the weight loss. Well, here's why you don't back down. All right, I don't care if you felt good and you're seeing evidence. You need to not back down. This is why. Literally 2 days before my official initial surgery date for the hysterectomy, doctor's hospital called. Long story short, they said that the hospital is out of network for the hysterectomy. I was like, what? No fucking way. And of course, I cried. Alright, I cried. Like, nothing was like really working out. I cried. All right, I was pissed off. I was crying, and I thought, oh my gosh, what the fuck, man? I was literally affirming. What the fuck is happening? Like, I can't be failing myself at manifesting and all that. Like, come on now. Like, I was feeling defeated and all that. Okay. So this is what I would give myself, like a mental 3-day rule of 3 days of feeling, you know, pissed off, sad, and all that. I would give myself just 3 days straight of me feeling whatever I need to be feeling. Basically, just letting out all those bottled up emotions for those 3 days. And after 3 days, we need to, you know, lock down and get to work. So that's what I did. But I was also, like, you know, affirming that I got the hysterectomy schedule or something like that. I think it was like, yeah, I got the hysterectomy, something like that. But after, you know, the 3-day mark, I was more getting to work of me getting. I literally started right then and there again with robotically affirming that I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I got it approved. I got it approved. I got it approved. And all that, you know. So yeah, lesson learned. Do not back down. Do not back down. Keep being diligent on your affirmations. Even though you're seeing really good movement, that movement ain't shit compared to you actually getting the exact desire the way you want it, okay? All right? Don't get caught up in those feels. If you're not experiencing your desire exactly the way you want it, don't back down. Keep affirming. Keep doing those affirmation sessions. Keep being diligent. Keep being consistent, okay? This is why. This is what and this is what happened when I was backing down. All right. So yeah. Long story short, I had to call around for, you know, to schedule appointments with doctors. One doctor, even though she was in the child-free list, her nurse said, to be honest, this doctor, she can't do the surgery for you. She's not comfortable doing it at your age. You're too young. Even though I literally got my freaking tubes out and evidence that I had endometriosis. I even asked her too, like, even though I had, so she can't do it even though I don't have fallopian tubes? She's like, yeah. Which I found really fucking stupid. But anyways, so yeah, I did feel pretty discouraged when that happened, but I was still affirming though. I was still affirming that I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. And then my doctor, she recommended me these 2 doctors. I scheduled for these 2 doctors. And so the first doctor we're gonna be calling her Dr. 1. There you go, Dr. 1. And then the second one, Dr. 2. Dr. 1, long story short, she was supportive at it. I think it was also because, you know, my doctor referred me to her. And when so I had like 2 appointments. Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 appointments with this doctor. And yeah, on that last appointment with her, she was like, okay, let's get you scheduled. So scheduler came and she said, we'll just call you. I was like, okay. Because that's sort of what happens mostly. I did not get a call at all. I was the one that was calling, making sure, like, hey, you told me that you were gonna call me by this time. And they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. Basically just moving the goalpost that call us at this date if you don't get a response. I didn't get a response like twice. When they did that twice, to me twice. And then, don't force a 3D. This is it right here. Like, do not force 3D. This is where you need to just sit your ass down and just affirm. Because what I did here, and I'm not proud of this, but hey, I learned my lesson, and I need you guys to learn this lesson too. Don't be forcing 3D, especially when you're feeling fearful and scared that your desires are going to come quickly. Don't be doing it, all right? Because whenever I was in that state of taking action because fear of not being able to get my hysterectomy scheduled and done on time, I called this office literally like 30 more plus times in a week, all right? Because I wanted to make sure that I was getting this surgery scheduled. And not only that, I was also leaving, I don't know, fucking 20 or 30 voicemails, all right? And like the last voicemails too, I was just getting frustrated. I was like crying. I was like starting to cry. Like, please, freaking call me, man. I've been calling and calling. I didn't get a response. I just want to get my surgery scheduled. And then I called again. And then the scheduler, she said that Dr. 1 doesn't want to do the surgery on me at all. She's just not comfortable. I was like, what the fuck, man? But I was actually relieved because, you know, I basically dodged a bullet. If literally a freaking office is that freaking incompetent, why would I let a doctor like that, like, open me up and do that kind of sensitive, big surgery on me? If they really can't, you know, actually do what they're saying, you know? But yeah, I took that also as just a lesson, like, just keep affirming. Do not take action when you're feeling fearful or scared that you're not going to get your desire on time. Trust me, you always get your desire on time, okay? So yeah, take what I just said as a lesson, all right? Don't be forcing on a 3D whenever you're scared or frightful or anxious that you're not going to get your desire on time. You are going to get your desire on time. Just don't listen to those voices and affirm a lot more when that happens, okay? But yeah, after I took that lesson, I was still affirming, okay? I was still affirming. So then the second doctor, Dr. 2, she approved, but she wanted me to do pelvic floor therapy first, and then the next follow-up, I let her know that I want to do the surgery. I was like, okay. And then while doing the pelvic floor therapies, which sort of helped, my mom said, why don't you just call one of the doctors that are like 5 minutes away from where we live here. So I did. I called for this male doctor. I got it scheduled. And then I also called like other doctors as well. But I was still affirming. And doing like the affirmation sessions. I was using the counter app at this time too, which still works. So if you want to do the counter app, it still works, okay? And long story short, when I went to this male doctor, literally, while I was waiting for the doctor to come, I was still affirming, you know, robotically over and over again that I got the hysterectomy, I got the hysterectomy, I got the hysterectomy. All right, I got the hysterectomy, I got the hysterectomy. I was robotically affirming. Even though I was scared, there were even some points at those times, you know, whenever the appointment was on the way, or like I was going to my appointment, and especially this appointment where, you know, my mind was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. What if he's gonna say no? Like, oh, but I was like, nope, I don't care. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. La 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 la. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I got the hysterectomy. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I got the hysterectomy. Literally, that was like my little inner conversations about that too. But I was just mainly saying the same affirmation of, I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy. I got the hysterectomy right now. I got the hysterectomy right now. I got the hysterectomy right now. And then when the doctor came, and then, you know, I told him, all right, we'll get you scheduled. Do you have any questions? He was already asking me for freaking pre-op questions, my guy. I was like, huh? Because I was used to just having to wait until, you know, the actual pre-op appointment to ask for any questions. I was like, huh? Come again? So I'll keep like, you know this. I'm always gonna be like playing with my hair. Like, come again? So yeah. Literally, I would say like 3 to 4 hours after that appointment on that same day, the scheduler called me to get my surgery scheduled. I got it scheduled. So this appointment was around, September? Yeah, I think it was like around September. Dr. 1's appointment was around July, August. And Dr. 2's appointment was around like August as well. So yeah, literally I was receiving movement, like more movement month by month. I just realized that, all because I was just affirming the same affirmation over and over again through robotic affirmations, affirming throughout the day, and through affirmation sessions. So yeah, I scheduled my appointment for the second week of November, something like that. Because the first week of November was like a school event that my siblings were having, and I did not want to miss that. So, and I had fun. It was like I wanted it to be like sort of like my last hoorah before post-op recovery comes, and it was a good hoorah. It was a good last hoorah. So yeah, and I of course wanted to enjoy Halloween properly. I was Utah, I believe. Was I Utah? I think I was Utah. Was I Utah or Choso? No, Choso was the other Halloween. I think this time I was Utah. Right? Yeah, I was Utah. And then post-op happened. Oh, I gotta show you. Hold up, guys. So, my aunt, she bought me this bad boy here, Tuxedo Sam, as my surgery buddy. I took him with me on my surgery day. And he was a good boy. It smells like Chick-fil-A. Oh, it's because of this. My mini fridge can sometimes smell like bananas or Chick-fil-A. So, yeah. I thought he smelled like grilled nuggets. But yeah. So, my aunt got me him as my surgery buddy. He was a good surgery buddy. I still sleep with him. I mean, he's like, you guys see him like on every video. So, yeah. I don't remember if my mom actually got me another stuffed animal. Did she? For surgery? No, I think this time it was my aunt who got me a stuffed animal. But yeah, come to surgery day. But this time, I was affirming. I was just still diligent in my affirmation sessions and robotic affirmations. Mainly robotic affirmations because also I was manifesting my weight loss at this time. I was losing weight. So I was just affirming throughout the day. I did not stop affirming for the hysterectomy, that I got the hysterectomy until post-op comes. Oh my. Okay, so before I tell you guys this too, because this was a big part, I cannot believe that I didn't even include this, because this is so like, this part changed me in a good way as well. So whenever the insurance debacle was happening, my mom was like, why don't we just pray about it? So we prayed 3 nights straight and just stopped praying together about it. But I was praying here and there after that. This is where I was just praying mostly like through the classical begging or like the typical way of praying. Not how I pray now, which is like as if I am doing that Neville technique of revising the end of your day as if you have your desire and all that. Or like praying as if I already have whatever that I want. But still worked though. And yeah, basically those prayers were answered, my guy. Because I got exactly how I want my hysterectomy surgery stuff to work itself out. I had a mental specifics of wanting to stay overnight at a hospital and having some good ass hospital food. All right. And I just wanted to experience that overnight hospital stay at least for once in my life. All right. And also being able to still eat my home cooked meals because I was still losing weight at this time. I had to track more of my calories a lot more at this time. I still do now, but it's maintenance, so it's a lot easier and all that. But not only that, I was able to get my hysterectomy done literally 5 minutes away from where I live, literally right in my backyard. It was so awesome. Like, so my hysterectomy, it was scheduled for like, I don't know, like early in the morning basically. My mom was literally able to just drop me off to that hospital for the surgery and then drop off my siblings for school because the hospital was on the way to my siblings' schools. Like, as if it was like a normal errand, totally not, something as life-changing as taking your daughter to get her freaking uterus out kind of thing. Like, bro, like, what more could I ask for? Shoot. And my mom was able to like stay or come and go as she pleased, to drop off like my home cooked food, and also just hang out with me. So yeah, and she stayed overnight with me, and she had a good time. It felt like, we were sleeping over at an apartment that I had. Like, it was very peaceful. We had Hallmark on, because at this time Hallmark Channel was already starting to do that 24-hour Christmas movie marathon, so it was just so good. It was just so awesome. I was treated like a queen, royalty by the nurses. It was just so awesome, honestly. So yeah, I got exactly what I wanted, and at the desired time frame too. I wanted these surgeries, especially the hysterectomy, to be done before last year ended, and so that's what happened. That I got it done at around fall semester last year, and with the desired stuff that I wanted with happening at the surgery date. I had good ass hospital food and breakfast, like dinner and breakfast. Like, I was eating so good, my guys. Like, man, those pancakes, they hit different, my guy. And what really was awesome too is that I was able to see the calories. All right, because I'm that kind of person where I'm like, if I see food but I can't see their calorie counts, or they're hidden, I'm not eating it. Water break. But yeah, I was able to enjoy that food. Like, it was a good time, honestly. It was a good time. Despite me having like some gas pains and stuff, but that's to be expected with freaking, surgery. Especially getting a uterus and cervix out kind of surgery. So it turned out, according to my doctor, I had a very angry uterus. It was very veiny and red. And not only that, the best way that I could also explain this kind of condition that I had was I also had varicose veins in my pelvis. So that's why I kept experiencing like persistent pelvic pain every time I existed, every time I was running and all that. And the only way to get those angry veins to calm the hell down was to get my uterus out. And so I did. And not only that, I had acute cervicitis. Bro, it did not feel like acute. It felt like chronic or something like that, because it was painful, my guy. But yeah, I'm good now. I'm literally so good. Honestly, we gotta praise Lord about this, my guy. We gotta praise the Lord about this. Lord within, so good. We have a good God, my guy. And of course, well, what's so surprising is that literally all it took was me getting my uterus and cervix out to walk with Christ. So yeah, I literally got what I prayed for. When my mom and I prayed for me. Like, literally, God always answers your prayers. Any kind of prayers, my guy. Like, I'm sure you have heard with like, typical Christian shit that in order to be a good Christian or something like that, you gotta pop out kids. My God, I don't want kids. I don't want any kids. I used to have really bad tocophobia, fear of pregnancy, until after getting my tubes and uterus out. I'm good in the neighborhood, but like, yeah, kids, ew. I don't have a maternal instinct. What's that? Ugh. Only instinct I have is if I need a pee or poop. So, yeah. Like, but I still got my answers prayed, and I still get my answers prayed to this day. Because God doesn't care about any of that. God is really within you. So, yeah. And also, of course, because after that, I read the Bible every day and all that good stuff. I pray every night as if I have my desires, revise my days to like using my nightly prayers and all that good stuff. So, yeah. And that, of course, just got me where I am. Those are basically the desires that got me to where I am now. That started it all with my manifestation journey, my serious manifestation journey. And yeah, I'm so good at manifesting. Look at that, my guy, the queen of manifesting up in this vid. Look at that. Woo! So, yeah. Literally, anything is possible, my guys. I made the impossible possible. I literally got a hysterectomy. I don't have a uterus and cervix at all. I don't even have fallopian tubes. At the age of freaking 23, going on 24, I got these surgeries scheduled when I was 22. All right, and to be more explicit, I only use condoms as my contraceptives too. So there you go. Like, literally anybody with any kind of contraceptives or no contraceptives can get this kind of surgery. It's just, all it takes is you to make that happen. Make the impossible possible. Okay? I made the impossible possible, my guys. And now I'm out here being one of those people where I could try to help others out on getting the same surgeries that I got. Like, yeah, like a family member of mine and then like a friend of a friend like reached out to me about having a hysterectomy and all that because somebody has to be the first. And I had to understand that whenever I was starting to manifest this, that I had to be the first to make this possible, to make this, you know, a normal thing in a sense, you know, that anything is possible. And yeah, I believe that anything is possible, honestly. Praise God within. God's so good. I'm so good at manifesting. Look at that, my guy. We're a team right here. And yeah, of course, we gotta give praise to, of course, SAMMY INGRAM, because she's the one who has helped me out here with the affirmation stuff too. So yeah, praise God, praise SAMMY INGRAM on that. God is good, my guy. So yeah, literally anything is possible, my guys. And yeah, I've never been the same ever since. I've never been the same ever since, my guy, in a good way, in a good manner. So yeah, I'm now like dangerous. I've been listening to Michael Jackson. He good. So yeah. Bro, I got my name off of freaking Paris Jackson. Come on now. So yeah, like, this is it on me manifesting these desires that have started it all for me. My surgeries. So yeah, literally, if I can manifest these surgeries, you can literally manifest an SP. You can literally manifest that dream job. You can literally manifest anything. Honestly, who cares? Only you can care. All right, and you gotta care, because these are your desires that you need to be caring about. So yeah, get on with it. Get on with it. Get out my level. So yeah, I think that's like it on the story of my success story and all that. But keep affirming that same affirmation, 1-3 affirmations over and over again throughout the day, robotically, and set aside time for 10 minutes, 1-3 times a day. 1 time if you're busy, 2-3 times is preferable. 3 times is actually much more preferable. Ruminating the same 1-3 affirmations about that desire over and over again, and kabuya, you'll get into my level 2. So yeah, you'll definitely make the impossible possible. So yeah, anything's possible, my guys. You're invincible. So yeah, but anyways, thank you so much for listening, watching this video. I feel like this is the best like remake of this success story, because I have high spirits and all that. It's making me so good. But yeah, and I've been so good. God is so good, I'm telling you, my guys. But yeah, if you like this video and are interested in more videos like this where I talk about manifestation with a sprinkle of, you know, biblical stuff here and there if needed, you know what to do. I'm sure you have been on YouTube for so long, and if you haven't, well, anything is possible the more you put your mind into it, and I'm serious about that. I literally just told you a story about how I made the impossible possible at a very young age. Be sure to recite your daily Psalms of 23, 27, 91. And until next time I make another video, that's it for this scene. Make the impossible possible, baby.